This video lesson will go over how to find a root word of a verb. I'm Candace, and I am making this video for the 2018 Alutiiq Orthography class. And I have used the resources from the Connect book, which is called Alutiiq Language Sukhstun Lessons. There's also a section in the Jeff Lear Classroom Grammar book on this topic, as well as a website page from the Alutiiq Language or Alutiiq Museum. Why do we need to know how to do this? Well, finding root words and knowing how the root word works with other word parts is crucial to good writing and good editing. So I ask myself and others ask themselves, is it pidutleanga or piduchleanga? Is it imasunitwa or imasuhnitwa? These questions can be answered by finding out what the root word is and looking at how the postbase or ending connects to that root word. So we'll go all over all of that in this and another video. All right, so I've clipped a picture of the Jeff Lear 1978 dictionary to give you an idea of why we need to figure out what the root words are. The main reason for me is that I use verbs often in sentences, but rarely do I use them just like I find them in the dictionary. So I almost always have to conjugate them or add postbases or endings to these verbs. So in the dictionary, they are always going to end with a loony or a lugu ending. And with that ending, you can find out what their root word is or stem so that you can then conjugate or add postbases to that root word or stem. The loony, lugu endings, as well as the letter right before the loony or the lugu endings, tell us what the verb root is and how to use it in sentences. The cool thing about this is that transitive and intransitive verbs follow the same patterns. So I could make a video on loony endings and a video on lugu endings, but the ideas behind it, the rules behind it are going to be exactly the same. So I'm not going to make two videos or have two lessons or have two cheat sheets. This is one main lesson. So this is a transitive verb here, and those transitive verbs always end in lugu endings. The intransitive verbs end in loony endings, and intransitive verbs are what beginners are most comfortable with. But as you grow in progression towards fluency, you will have to start using the transitive verbs. So let's just learn how to find their roots right away. All right. So I'm going to have an equation at the top of each of these pages. So this is what the root word looks like before the loony or lugu ending, and then what that means for a root word. So for a one-syllable word ending in G or R that adds loony or lugu, those all end in GE or RE. So here we have some examples. Agluni, which is to go, the root word is AGE. So we drop the loony and we add an E. These are one-syllable words plus loony. Puchluni, to surface or emerge, would be puch, puch. The root word ends in GE. Juchluni, juchluni, coffee or tea is strong, and that root word is juche, juche. And swachluni, swachluni, so to surface or emerge, swache, swache. So those are one-syllable words that end in G or R, ag, buch, joch, swach, plus luni, and those end in GE or RE. So the root word is still one syllable. All right, a word ending in G or R that is more than one syllable, plus luni or lugu, ends in a G or an R. So all we do is drop the luni, and that is the root word. For example, luni to burp, the root word would be llach. Mayochluni to climb, the root word mayoch. Oh, I see. Uluchiayuchluni to be cautious because one is afraid. Uluchiayuch. And kayachochluni to be yelling or calling. Kayachoch. So all we did there was drop the luni from the word. And that is the root word. And we're going to do exactly the same thing if it ends in a prime vowel. Remember that prime vowels are A, I, and U. The only vowel that's not a prime vowel is that poor E. So if a word ends in an A, I, or U before the luni was added, then all we do is drop the luni ending and the root word ends in the vowel. So we have kumlaluni to freeze. Kumla is the root word. Koyaluni to be grateful. Koya is the root word. Angliluni to grow up. Angli is the root word. Nauluni to grow a plant. The root word is no. Now that one is a one syllable. No is a one syllable before a single syllable before the luni, but because it doesn't end in G or R, remember like our first one did. This was a G or R ending for a one syllable word. But this one syllable word acts just like the rest of the words here because it ends in an A, I, or U before the luni. And all we do is drop the luni and the root word will end in a vowel. Then there are words that end in consonants other than G. Although there aren't many of these, I had to really search through the dictionary. So we have anluni and, oh, sorry. So the word ends in a consonant other than a G plus a luni. And so what we do is we just drop the luni and add an E. So the final consonant will stay before the luni and we add an E. So anluni, you take the luni away, add an E and it's an. Wamluni, you take the luni away and add an E, it's wam. Akumluni, take the luni away and add an E, akum. Alright, and then we have lluni. I think lluni is the easiest because it doesn't matter what comes before lluni. Every time you're going to drop the lluni and add te. So here we have choke, kuchuhiluni, kuchuhit is the root word. Kupachluni, and the root word's kupacht. And pinachluni, pinacht, kacholuni, kachot. So again, all we do is drop the lluni in its entirety, all of the L's and everything, and then add te to the end. There are a couple exceptions. So occasionally some words will end in lluni, but we'll have a will have a stem ending in a different consonant and E. And those are rare, so the dictionary citations will provide the stem for these verbs. Like this example here, ashuni is to stay in a place, and the root word, or this is actually not the root word, this is the third person present tense intransitive ending, so he is currently staying there, is what it means. Alutiiq. That's how you would use that in a sentence, and so they're kind of giving you a hint as to what the root word would be by giving you an example. There's also a rare intransitive ending where verbs end in apostrophe uni. With these, you'll drop the lluni and add t apostrophe e or double l t e. As these are unpredictable, the dictionary will tell you what they are as well. So what's not like it's a bummer that there are exceptions. So what's nice is that the dictionary will give those answers to you. So thank you, Jeff. So that's all we have for the STEM video. It's pretty straightforward. However, I understand that it's a lot to think about, and um, I've made a little cheat sheet. So I don't expect you to memorize all of this, be able to do it all the time. We have cheat sheets, and we have these resources around forever, basically. So you don't have to memorize it and be able to use it all the time. If you can, that's awesome because I think it'll help when you have those questions. Like my first slide showed, is it imasuh nitwa or imasunitwa? But I did make a sheet here. This is based off of one that April made for the website, but um, I have, this is a dictionary ending, and it kind of gives it more, it looks like my slides, so it ends in a vowel plus luni or a vowel plus lugu, then you simply drop luni or drop lugu. And for example, kiki luni, the stem is kiki. For chana lugu, the stem is chana. So this goes through all the rules we just did. It lists everything twice so that you get a luni and a lugu. And so that you can see that the rules are exactly the same. And then it covers those two different exceptions at the end so that you have that documented if you find one that's odd. This tells you why. So good luck with finding some root words or stems. I hope that you have found this helpful. My next video will go over postbases and how to add them to verb and noun stems.